Asa was just on, I think, the last session of hockey tryouts and was done with hockey tryouts, and it was a really hot, uncharacteristic day in Duluth, and they were going to go jump in the lake by our house. So he and two of his friends from hockey set off on their bikes.
I went over some bumps and the handlebar went into my stomach and I fell off and it was scary.
I got a call from a Good Samaritan, actually, that she had called an ambulance. The CT scan was pretty poor, indicating some pretty significant abdominal injuries. Got air transport set up. They got him down to Children's Minnesota, and we were met with a care team that was very compassionate, but also very realistic about what was happening and how urgently we needed to make some pretty critical decisions based on the type of injury. He had severed his pancreas with only about 30% attached. The whole ductal system and everything was ruptured, so he was very sick. Maybe the past 5 to 10 years, there was no other alternative aside from fatality or removal of the organ. They were hard choices to make, knowing that he was young and an athlete, and we might be forced to go into an emergency major surgery and remove vital organs and possibly other things they could find in there. And having a very athletic, able-bodied child suddenly be almost lifeless was a really hard thing to watch. And he had a very long, bumpy road, but he was very courageous and brave.
At Children's Minnesota, we have all of these kid experts, and you think of those as surgeons or nurses, but there's a whole bunch of kid experts who do all the wraparound services, support the family in all of the ways that they need to experience, walk through, and recover from the trauma that can come associated with healthcare. Child life specialist, and that's a member of the care team who focuses on all of the normal developmental things that are supposed to happen that tend to get pushed aside when a child is injured or is dealing with an acute or chronic illness. They help the family move through that hospitalization, help the child understand what's going on, and come out the other side with their kid side still intact.
Child and family services and child life specifically are an integral part of the experience that we had. The ability that that team has to be responsive to the true psychology and nature of children and to really understand grief and the importance of well-being in the recovery process is something that I would say is a standout quality of Children's Minnesota and the child life team.
I never thought I'd get such strong connections with the people at the hospital. I'm really grateful that they did what they did.
All of these are things that kids need and that in a pediatric center exclusively devoted to children are a critical part of the care we deliver. But none of these child and family services appear on a medical bill. None of them are covered by insurance. All of those services depend upon the engagement of donors across the community, donors like the Minnesota Wild Foundation.
They let him turn his room into a hockey shrine. The foresight and the true care and just thoughtfulness, how can I get this child to have 10 minutes of joy or normalcy while in the hospital? And not once did we ever hear about where that hockey puck might land or what could get damaged.
All the nurses and doctors, they were all super nice, and I was with them at the Wild game last night and it was super fun catching up with all of them.
And Asa desperately missed the hockey community. I think this was the biggest takeaway was how important and real that community is in the lives of children and teams and in the culture in which he grew up in. The responsiveness from the community, and I don't want to sound stereotypical, but these sometimes really gruff men who don't have a lot of empathy that's visible, their thoughtfulness and true expression of emotion, to have adult men and players and teenagers really feel the pain and anguish of what you're going through, and then to do something to activate the community in a positive way.
It was super nice feeling all the support. I never thought that so many people would actually care about my injury.
How you doing, man? Marcus.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
What's going on? Nice to meet you too. Watching practice?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah? You'll be out here soon. You play for what team?
Duluth East.
Nice. How's the season going?
It's going good. We just started.
You guys just started, right? Yeah. The hockey community is really close, as much as it's a competitive sport, and yeah, we don't like certain teams, but you know, when something happens in the hockey community, you get unbelievable support and outreach from everyone that's involved in the game.
The mission of the foundation for myself, and I know everyone around the team, is be able to get back out into the community and help those that do need the help.
I think we have a great opportunity as role models in our community where we can make a difference. When you get to spend time with the kids or those who are going through a tough time, and when we do the hospital visits, no kid should be going through a hard time in their life. They should have a great childhood, have a normal childhood. I think as a parent, you want that for any kid that you see.
Any way we can give back, get out into the community, raise some money to help those families in need. It's pretty impressive just to see the support that the community brings to whatever foundation we are supporting. It doesn't really matter when or where, there's always guys willing to get out there and help support a good cause.
Right, I think hockey in different ways that can be played is special and should always be supportive. For me, it's really cool to see those athletes and how they play the game, and then also celebrating differences that should be celebrated.
The hockey world has been definitely a family phrase and a place to belong. Long, rough road with, 11 operations in the end, but he's here now and he's almost completely restored.
Just to be able to skate again and have the team that I've been around my whole life, that was really fun and special. Yeah, hockey is pretty much my whole life.
It really made me think in a different light as a parent in the hockey community of how this isn't just youth hockey and this isn't just a season. Like, this is an entire culture and group of people who obviously love a good game and love the sport, but also really care about the people.
I want to say thank you so much for everything.
On behalf of all of us players and everyone in the organization, we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you for your generosity tonight, and thank you again for coming.